Have you ever thought about how fragile life truly is? One moment, everything seems normal, and the next, we're faced with an overwhelming reality, losing someone we love. It's one of the most difficult experiences anyone can go through, and yet, most of us are never truly prepared for it. But what really happens when grief strikes? And is there a way to navigate it without feeling completely lost? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, I'll share an insight that could help you process loss in a way you never expected. Losing a loved one is an experience that unites us all as human beings. It's the one certainty in life that no one can escape. And yet, when it happens, it feels like the ground is crumbling beneath our feet. The pain of absence, the emptiness, the emotional, and even physical suffering can be overwhelming. Grief manifests in many ways. Some shut down emotionally, others isolate themselves, and some feel like they can't go on without that person who is not only a loved one, but also a source of strength and support. Grief isn't just about sadness. It brings waves of emotions: anger, loneliness, confusion, guilt. But here's something important to remember. Grieving isn't about forgetting. It's about learning to live with love in a different form. The memories, the moments shared, and the deep connection you had with that person never truly disappear. Many people wonder, is there a right way to grieve? The answer is no. Every person experiences grief differently. Some feel the need to talk about it, while others prefer to process it in silence. Some feel sadness, others rage, numbness, or even relief. And that's okay. Studies show that about 1 in 3 people naturally display resilience after a loss. That doesn't mean they didn't care. It simply means that grief looks different for everyone. There's no manual, no time limit, and certainly no right way to feel. Culture and beliefs also play a huge role in how we process death. In some cultures, death is seen as the beginning of another life, like reincarnation or an eternal existence in an afterlife. In others, it's even celebrated as a transition rather than an end. These perspectives can shape the way we experience loss, influencing whether we see it as something purely sorrowful or as a part of life's cycle. But no matter what your beliefs are, psychologists have identified 5 common stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. In denial, we struggle to believe the loss is real. Then, anger takes over. Anger at fate, at the world, or even at ourselves for things left unsaid. Bargaining is when we wish things could be different, replaying what-if scenarios in our minds. Depression follows as reality sinks in. And finally, acceptance, the stage where we slowly begin to find a way forward. Psychiatrist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross described acceptance as the point where we start to create new meaning in life, where we make peace with the past and allow ourselves to move forward without guilt. But let's be clear, acceptance doesn't mean forgetting. It means honoring the past while still embracing the future. For most people, grief eventually becomes bearable, but for a small percentage, the pain doesn't ease, it deepens. This is called complicated grief, CG, or prolonged grief disorder, PGD, where the person feels trapped in their sorrow, unable to function in daily life. Recent studies show that these individuals can benefit greatly from cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, a structured approach that helps process emotions, rebuild daily routines, and find purpose again. One of the biggest mistakes people make during grief is isolating themselves. While it's natural to need solitude, it's equally important to lean on others, friends, family, or even professional counselors. Talking about your pain doesn't make it worse. It helps lighten the burden. Even if it feels impossible at first, reaching out is a powerful step toward healing. So now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a loss that changed you? How did you cope? Let me know in the comments below. And if this video helped you in any way, leave a like, subscribe to Life Tips, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future content on personal growth and emotional well-being. Remember, grief is not about letting go. It's about holding on in a way that allows you to keep living. You are not alone. See you in the next video.